Welcome to the BLOC Studio Podcast by PHILIPP INNO, where books meet breakthroughs and stories spark startups. Truth be told, I am a book lover. Ever since I was a kid, I found magic in pages. I wasn't allowed to play outside after lunch, so instead of napping, I opened the dusty old World Book Encyclopedia set on our shelf. Fun fact, it's the same set Bill Gates read when he was also still young. Grabe, di ba? Volume A to Z, cover to cover. Walang biro. That's where it all began. Now, I don't just read books. I collect them. Especially the ones that steer the minds of visionaries, innovators, and entrepreneurs like me and like you. In this podcast, I'll be reading a book summary and sharing my thoughts. Not as a critic, but as a creator. As someone who's lived through the hustle, built businesses from scratch, and dared to invent beyond the norm. Today's episode, we're diving into Leonardo da Vinci, Biography by Walter Isaacson. It's not just a biography. It's a blueprint for thinkers like us. So, you and I, no? So, habang nakikinig ka, imagine you're chilling here sa BLOC Camp Site, overlooking the lake, clear skies above, ideas flowing freely. So that's the vibe here. This isn't just a podcast. This is a prelude to that kind of experience. The experience here in our humble slice of paradise, the BLOC Camp Site. So let's begin. Leonardo da Vinci by Walter Isaacson. Introduction. Ever wondered how Leonardo managed to be an incredible artist and a groundbreaking scientist at the same time? Artist na, scientist pa. So Walter Isaacson's Leonardo da Vinci is a fascinating dive into the life of one of history's greatest minds. Legit, no? This book takes you on a journey through Leonardo's world, exploring his incredible talents not just as an artist but also as a scientist and engineer. Actually, marami pa nga yun eh. Isaacson brings Leonardo's endless curiosity and genius to life using his vast collection of notebooks to show how he combined art and science in ways that still amaze us today. So meron siyang notebook. So actually I can relate much to this, I also have, I'm not using a notebook, it's more of a sketch pad, So because that's what we're using, So I jot down notes lagi ako may notes. So I can relate much. So in this book, each chapter breaks down different parts of Leonardo's life and work. From his early days in Florence to creating masterpieces like, so ano yung mga familiar kayo na art ni Leonardo da Vinci? One is The Last Supper and Mona Lisa. So you'll also get a peek into his scientific experiments and inventions. Inventions. So personally relate much because I'm an inventor, an innovator. So sa kanya, from studying human anatomy to designing flying machines. So nung wala pang helicopter, he already, came up with an idea of a flying machine. Isaacson dives deep into Leonardo's artistic skills and scientific discoveries and explains how they were all connected, showing why he is the ultimate Renaissance man. So I'm also a Renaissance man. I'm claiming it, because in my own website, So I call myself as an architectpreneur. I'm part an autodidact. No, an autodidact. Autodidact means self-taught. No, so I am part artist. I am part architect. I am part technologist, including being an inventor and innovator. I am also part uh, revolutionary, philanthropist, and at the same time, entrepreneur. So yun eh. Marami pang in between pero architectpreneur. So that makes me a modern day Renaissance man. So of course, inspiration natin and virtual mentor natin, isa na doon, Leonardo da Vinci. So if you're into art, science, or just love learning about incredible people, this book will give you a fresh perspective on one of history's most fascinating figures. Okay, Chapter 1. The Illegitimate Genius. Leonardo's Early Years. Illegitimate? Ha? Naisip niyo ba naisip ko? O, yun yun. So, Leonardo da Vinci's story begins in Vinci, Italy. He was born in 1452 to Piero da Vinci, a notary o notaryo, no? So malamang abogado, and Caterina, a young peasant girl. Peasant meaning anak ng farmer. Tama? No? Though he was an illegitimate child, meaning anak sa labas perhaps, it was a blessing for him because he wasn't bound to follow in his father's footsteps as a notary. No, hindi niya kailangan maging notaryo din, no. Leonardo was free to pursue his own interests. So, his father, Piero, airpats niya, recognized Leonardo's talent early on and arranged for him to apprentice with the renowned artist Andrea del Verrocchio in Florence. No, Verrocchio. Andrea del Verrocchio in Florence. This was a turning point, giving Leonardo access to a world of art and innovation during the bustling Renaissance period. So, Renaissance time. So, kasabayan niyo dyan yung mga other great Renaissance man like Michelangelo. Di ba? So, growing up, Leonardo spent time with both his mother's family and his father's household, which exposed him to a variety of experiences that fueled his creativity. No, yun pala yun, ano? So the Renaissance was a golden era for many illegitimate children like Leonardo, who found opportunities to excel in ways they wouldn't have if confined to traditional roles. Isang ganun eh, no? So, yung challenges mo growing up will serve as your fuel or your foundation, ano? Why you'll be not just ordinary but extraordinary, no? So, ganun nangyayari kay Leonardo, no? So, hindi siya na-confined sa tinatawag na traditional roles. So, just like me, I'm a nonconformist, no? So, unconventional. So, once again, relate much. So, many famous figures of the time, such as poets Boccaccio and Petrarch, and artist Leon Battista Alberti, I hope na pro-pronounce ko ng tama, no? Were also born out of wedlock and thrived because of it. Born out of wedlock. So, anak sa labas. So, yun nga, illegitimate. No? Pwedeng, hindi naman necessary anak sa labas, kundi anak sa binata. Ganyan. Parang ganon, or dalaga. Or parang ganon. Well, actually, medyo nakaka-relate. So, Leonardo's early life was marked by an insatiable curiosity and a drive to learn. So, nung bata siya, meron siyang hunger, no? Meron siyang curiosity and meron siyang drive to learn. So, he explored everything from art to science, often jotting down his thoughts and observations in his notebooks. So pag kunyari may nakita siya o meron siyang napansin, may naobserbahan, so sinusulat niya sa notebook niya. So this relentless pursuit of knowledge set the stage for his future achievements in art, science, and engineering. So yun pala yun. So observant siya. And then hindi siya nakokontento na makapag-observe lang. Ang ginagawa niya, he jots it down, no? So sinusulat niya yung mga na-observe niya. So ganun si Leonardo. So that's chapter 1. Let's move to the chapter 2. So chapter 2. Leonardo's rise from apprentice to master. No? So from student to teacher, or apprentice to master. So in 1464, grabe, ang tagal na, no? Leonardo and his father, Piero, moved from Vinci to Florence, a city bustling with artists, merchants, and craftsmen. No? So maraming artists, merchants, traders, mga businessmen, entrepreneurs, and craftsmen. Florence was a hub of cultural and intellectual activity, making it the perfect place for young Leonardo to grow. So, at just 14, he began an apprenticeship with Andrea del Verrocchio, a renowned artist and engineer who was a client of Piero's. So, kliyente yun ng father niya. So, 14, imagine, kasing age na lang yung youngest son namin, si Stevlon Icon, which I named after, parang modern day Da Vinci din itong mga to. Steve Jobs and of course Elon Musk. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Stevlon. Di ba? So, this apprenticeship was crucial for Leonardo as it provided him with rigorous training in various skills, including perspective, geometry, and the use of light and shadow in painting. So, parang early days siguro to, no? Parang yung pinag-aralan namin sa architecture sa college, yung perspective. May 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective, ganyan. And then geometry. Singit ko lang, during college days, I hate math. I don't like math. No? Anything about numbers, nako, trigo, geometry, algebra, yung mga ganyan, yung calculus, nako. Actually, there's a separate story kung bakit ko na ipapasa yung mga yon, no? Isingit ko na, no? Kaya ako na ipapasa kasi, there's this opportunity na, I don't know, biglang dumadating. Imagine, no? Pauwi ako, coming from U-Belt, no? Going to our house in Santa Mesa, Manila. And then, makatapat mo ba naman yung professor mo o yung instructor mo sa math, no? And then, imagine kung gaano kalayo yung recto hanggang V-Mapa sa Santa Mesa. So, magkaharap kayo ng teacher mo, di ba? The good thing, may napansin ako about him. And what's that? Parehas kami naka-Levi's 501 or naka-Levi's. Nung time na yun, during college days, Levi's was a thing, di ba? So, partner mo yun ng Tretorn, K-Swiss, Vans, di ba? Airwalk, ayan. So, parehas kami naka-Levi's. So, nag-usap kami, no? About Levi's. So we talk about different kinds of Levi's, di ba? Kasi may 501, 502, hanggang 511, may 701 pa nga, ganyan, So, yun yung topic namin. And then we talk about yung acid wash, stone wash, bottom fly, mga ganyan, So, to make it short, kaya ako naipasa yung mga math ko kasi yung teacher ko, sometimes find common interest, not necessarily math. But, I may be, in a way, di magaling sa mga, or I hate kasi yung memorizing, no? Yung mga gano'n, mga sine, cosine, mga ganyan, So parang for me, it's a waste of time, no? I just get the principles of it and then that's enough. Pero sa geometry, yan, pasado ako dyan. Siguro, part of my God-given gift, no? So parang innate, parang gano'n. So anyway, going back, no? So, yun, no? So, once again, it provided Leonardo with rigorous training in various skills including perspective, geometry, and the use of light and shadow in painting. Back then, being an artist was akin to being a skilled skilled craftsman like carpenter or blacksmith. So parang ganun lang ang tingin sa mga artist dati. Parang ka lang craftsman. Naalala ko na naman. Ano dami ko naalala? Parang because this was just in the Renaissance period, pero dumating yan, fast forward, industrial age, yung Bauhaus, na parang nawala na naman yan yung pagiging craftsman ng mga architects or ng mga, parang there was this, parang, ang tawag doon, parang a movement, na ginawa nila sa Bauhaus na kailangan ang mga architect bumalik sa pagiging craftsman. Hindi yung magaling ka lang sa mga theories. You can really, build through your hands, di ba? Work through your hands, using your hands. So like a carpenter or a blacksmith. Blacksmith gumagawa ng what? Sword, di ba? So Verrocchio's workshop operated on a commission basis, where clients ordered paintings much like they would order practical items. The training was intense, but Leonardo thrived. No? So nag-excel siya. No? Doon talaga siguro siya. Fit siya ron. Nandun siya sa zone niya. Absorbing everything he could. His natural talent quickly shone through. And by the time he was 20, grabe, ang bata So that was the time that I just finished college. He had earned the title of Master Painter. So at 20, Master Painter na siya. Ako naman at 20, I started my own firm na. So, yun nga. Truth be told, never ako nag-employee. Entrepreneur agad ako. No? So I put up my own studio. No? So I pioneered yung CAD services sa Pilipinas, particularly sa Metro Manila. And of course, at one point, I enjoyed Monopoly. Because before, CAD kasi, licensed software yan eh. So yung mga big companies lang ang meron talaga ng CAD software. Pero, alam naman natin, taga Cubao ako, no? So, stone throw away lang yung Alimol. Dami dyan, pili ka. Windows, CAD, Adobe Photoshop. And so, to make it short, no? Kung hindi ka naman big entity, okay na yan. So, you're just using yung mga na burn lang, na mga copies. So, I started it, no? So, we provide CAD services dun sa mga firms like mga startup architects or engineers or contractors na wala silang office. So parang naging kami, ang tawag doon parang support office. May tawag pa ron yun na yun, no? So parang ina-outsource nila sa amin and at one point talaga na monopolize namin yun. I enjoyed that first business of mine, which is CAD design and drafting services or CAD drafting services. So anyway, the reason why I'm just sharing is because I can relate much dito sa book na to, dito sa pinag-uusapan natin na to. So, at 20, Leonardo da Vinci is already a master painter. Ako naman at 20, I'm already an entrepreneur. So, Leonardo's growth as an artist is evident in his collaboration with Verrocchio on the Baptism of Christ. Familiar kayo doon? Ang ganda ng painting na yun no, yung parang nakatayo si Jesus Christ, tapos parang siyang binibinyagan sa Jordan River ba yan? Kung ano man yan. Anyway, the painting features two angels. So may dalawang angel yon. So nandiyan si Jesus Christ, nandiyan si John the Baptist, di ba? So parang binabaptize niya si Jesus Christ. May two angels. No? And then, the painting nga, no, features two angels, one by Verrocchio, so si Verrocchio ang nagpaint, and the other by Leonardo. So Verrocchio's angel appears somewhat stiff and lifeless. So yung ginawa ni Verrocchio, yung master ni Leonardo, para siyang lifeless. While Leonardo's angel is vibrant, with a soft, lifelike quality achieved through a technique called sfumato, which Leonardo would become famous for. So may ginawa siya na better than sa ginawa ng master niya. Ang tawag is sfumato, na dun sumikat later on si Leonardo. This technique translating to smokiness, no? Smokiness. So medyo siguro may fluid, parang yung smoke, no? Na para siyang nagble-blend or what, no? So allowed Leonardo to create seamless transitions between colors and tones, giving his paintings a unique depth and realism. Nakaka-relate na naman ako. Kasi back then, college days, rendering. Rendering kasi yon, you'll start muna yung mga basic, di ba? Kunyari, color rendering like watercolor, craypas, no? Yung mga pastel colors yan, yung mga pastel. And then, of course, pen and ink, and then yung mga shading ng mga lapis. And then, pa-advance yan, ano? So, wash. When we say wash, watercolor yan. But then, as a non-conformist, ayaw ko kasi kung ano yung ginagawa ng karamihan. Yun yung ginagawa ko. So, I explored other options. And then, I came across a friend na niregaluhan siya or binilan siya ng ate niya ng airbrush. So, Paashe. No? Dalawa kasi yung yung sikat, yung Badger, tsaka yung Paashe, no? Na brand. So, yun? Quality. So, my friend, no? Whose name, kumpare ko yun, by the way, naging kumpare ko later on. His name is Architect Palafox. No, hindi yung sikat na June Palafox, Pamangkin niya, si Architect Aristotle Palafox. So, nung estudyante kami, so tumawag siya sa akin, pare, paano ba tong airbrush? Sabi niya ganyan, kasi friend kami. Nagkakilala kami kasi Ilocano siya and I understand Ilocano. May pinagtiritripan sila rin sa humanities subject namin and nag-Ilocano sila and then they're talking about a girl and then they were surprised when I also speak in Ilocano and then that started our friendship. And then, yun na nga. So, pare, tulungan mo nga ako. So, he called me. So, pinuntahan ko siya noon. We're from Santa Mesa and then dun siya sa may, what's this, place, malapit na sa Quezon Avenue, Araneta corner, Quezon Avenue, near there, sa boarding house. And then, pagdating ko rin sa boarding house nila, ayun, nagulat ako. Yung plate niya, so plate, usually plate ang tawag namin doon parang malaking papel. So parchment yung ginamit niya. And then may airbrush niya. So, and then nakita ko sa parchment, parang may mga lake. Nag-ipon-ipon na yung mga in-spray niya. Parang nagtubig na. So, obviously, hindi siya skilled pa in using airbrush. So sa akin naman, parang I have this, parang parang kaya ko to parang i-enjoyin ko to So I tried helping him and then yun na nga. So siguro instinct, since siguro dahil my dad is also a painter, nakikita ko, unang-una, don't use airbrush na nakalagay dun sa table. In-spray niya siguro pag ganyan. So syempre ipon yung tubig. So dapat you use a board and then you use you use a tape, tape mo siya doon. And then dapat in a way nasa wall or in a way slightly inclined, then doon ka mag-spray ng airbrush. So nakita ko, wow. So anyway, fast forward, I became the airbrush king nung time namin. So to the point na even yung mga magagaling na mga architecture students doon, dinadayo ako sa Santa Mesa para magpabuga. Tawag doon, pare, pabuga naman meaning magpapa-airbrush. So may ginawa pa nga akong isang, tinulungan akong doon na mga schoolmates and then eventually mga naging friends na rin. Isa pa nga, nanalo pa nga sa competition. So anyway, going back, smokiness, sabi kasi. So you can only achieve that, yung blending na yun. For me, yung airbrush, di ba? Kasi you can control the flow ng air, yung paint, so pwede siyang manipis muna, layer, parang something like that. So, during the time, imagine wala namang airbrush noon, So, smokiness allowed Leonardo to create seamless transitions between colors and tones, giving his paintings a unique depth and realism. So, by surpassing his master, so nalagpasan niya, nadaig niya, Leonardo demonstrated his exceptional skill and innovative approach to art. His time in Florence, filled with learning and experimentation, laid the foundation for his future masterpieces. So, dun yung humble beginnings niya sa Florence, Italy. As Leonardo once said, sabi ni Leonardo, learning never exhausts the mind. Galing take note niyo yan. Learning never exhausts the mind. This period of intense learning and creativity set the stage for his remarkable career, blending art and science in ways that continue to inspire. So Leonardo's early years in Florence were just the beginning of a lifelong journey of discovery and creation, making him a true Renaissance man whose influence still resonates today. Naman, di ba? So, next tayo. Before that, by the way, no, parang I discovered that there's this exhibition or exhibit sa Mall of Asia, no, yung mga works ni Leonardo da Vinci. And I have photos of that, I took photos and then replicas of his inventions, So, mag-isa nga lang ako halos doon, So, para akong bata. I was just like a kid, looking at all his creations. Yung art niya, yung architecture niya, and even his adventure in different fields like in sa medicine, making war machines, flying machines, so ganyan galing, no? Anyway, chapter 3. Leonardo's rise and challenges in Florence. In the 1470s, Leonardo continued to thrive in Verrocchio's studio, making significant strides as a master painter. So master painter muna siya. One of his standout works from this period is the portrait of Ginevra da Vinci. O Da Vinci. Ulit. Ginevra da Vinci. Unlike traditional portraits that were primarily side profiles, Leonardo chose a three-quarter pose for Ginevra, capturing not just her likeness but a sense of her inner self. So, kung maintindihan natin to, no? So, there was siguro parang a way kung paano gumawa ng portrait until Leonardo introduced something different. Three-quarter pose. So, para ma-capture nga yung in a way, yung likeness and inner self nung subject niya na woman, no? Her eyes and smile reflects a thoughtful, intense young woman, marking a shift in portraiture style that sought to reveal more about the subject's personality. So, nailalabas niya yung personality through his paintings. So, Leonardo's reputation was growing, but so was his visibility to local authorities. Naku, lagot. Ano yun? During this time, he faced anonymous allegations of sodomy twice. Really? Alam niyo ba yung sodomy? Involved ka sa? Anyway, kasi pala nung panahon na yun, These allegations were serious, but they mysteriously disappeared. Likely due to the involvement of a powerful Medici family member. So may influential na family, the Medici, family. So even today, siguro tinapala ng pera or ng kung ano man, manahimik na lang. Yung siguro yung press or what, para hindi na siya kumalat. Florence was known for its acceptance of homosexuality. And Florencer, yung term na Florencer, even became a slang term for homosexual in Germany. May ganun pala nun, So despite the potential scandal, these accusations did not significantly hinder Leonardo's career. Even pala nung mga time na yan, ang magagaling sa art and design yung mga, magaling din sa interior decoration ngayon, magaling din sa mga photoshoot, diba? So talagang gifted pala ang mga, usually, So napansin natin, So one of the gifts and talents, So nakakatuwa naman din. Okay. Again, in 1477, Leonardo opened his own workshop in Florence, marking a new chapter in his career. So one of his first major projects was the Adoration of the Magi. Magi to eh. Pero, English. The Adoration of the Magi. Leonardo's vision for this piece was revolutionary. I love that word. Rather than depicting the traditional scene of the three kings representing or presenting gifts to baby Jesus, Leonardo envisioned a dynamic, emotional whirlwind. No? So ano yun? Parang iniba niya, no? Parang medyo dynamic. No? So Mary and Jesus are at the center, surrounded by a tumult of emotions and awe, even affecting the animals in the scene. Unfortunately, this ambitious project remained unfinished. Hindi natapos. So with only the sky and a few details left untouched. So, relate ba ako rito? Actually, napaka-few. Ako kasi most of my art or my designs or projects, when I start it, I don't stop until it's done. And siguro, that's why ang bilis ko rin gumawa ng art. And part of that is music. No? Ang bilis gumawa ng song. No? Kasi when I start, I finish it. I don't just write, create melodies, and then, finding kung nasan yung tunog na yun sa gitara, sa fretboard. And then, once it's done, recording, and then even making music videos, or lyric videos. So I don't stop until it's done. So si Leonardo pala may mga art siya na, siguro dahil malalaki siguro yung mga painting, kakapagod. Hindi tulad ng, Anyway, Leonardo's time in Florence was marked by both artistic innovation and personal challenges. His ability to push the boundaries of traditional art forms set the stage for his future masterpieces. So he pushed the boundaries of traditional art forms. So nag-introduce siya ng new. So that is set the stage for his future masterpieces. So despite the unfinished projects and controversies, Leonardo's work during this period showcased his extraordinary talent and visionary approach, solidifying his place as a master painter. So yun pala yun. So yun pala yung humble beginnings niya. And then, ulitin lang natin yung sinabi niya ng quote. Learning never exhausts the mind. Diba? So sa BLOC nga, sa BLOC University, we have what we call yung commitment to lifelong learning. So, you don't stop learning. Commit ka sa lifelong learning. Okay, let's move to chapter 4. From Florence to Milan. Leonardo's bold new horizons. In 1482, Leonardo da Vinci made the move from Florence to Milan. A journey that took about a week but felt like stepping into a whole new world. So while Florence was a bustling republic dominated by wealthy bankers, Milan was ruled by the powerful Sforza family. Leonardo set his sights on gaining the patronage of Ludovico Sforza, the future Duke of Milan. So si Ludovico Sforza, tinatarget niya na maging patron. So to win him over, Leonardo showcased his diverse skills, highlighting his expertise in military engineering. So, ano yun? When you say military engineering, parang you are designing mga war machines. Parang older version ni Iron Man siguro. Gumawa siya ng mga war or mga weaponries. Ganyan, So from designing portable bridges and mobile cannons to creating armored chariots. Siyempre, medyo makaluma pa. And he mentioned his talents in sculpture and painting almost as a side note. So parang focus siya rin sa kung ano you need. So medyo entrepreneurial thinking din palang in-apply ni Leonardo, or entrepreneurial thinker din pala siya. So he identified the need, or the pain ng patron niya, and then he provided in a way the solution or the cure that pain, Pero of course, on the side, siguro tinitis din niya or medyo showcase din niya yung mastery niya sa painting and yung other abilities niya, no? Like his talents in sculpture, no? So Milan offered Leonardo the chance to dive deep into his passion for connecting nature, humans, architecture, and engineering. So fusion, ano? Yung passion niya for nature, humans, architecture, engineering. So parang mas lalo pa niyang in-explore. So he pitched groundbreaking ideas like designing a city that functioned like a healthy human body with canals circulating clean water like veins and an underground sewage system handling waste like the human digestive system. Galing, ano? Kasi nga he understands the 'di ba? Yung yung systems sa human body, like yung digestive system. So based on this, parang he came up with an urban plan or a master plan, no? Na parang he introduced yung mga groundbreaking ideas niya, no? So something that is very innovative. So he designed a city that functioned like yung human body, no? Healthy human body. So yung canal, no, yung mga canals doon, parang meron siyang circulation of clean water. So parang sa ano din natin, sa mga digestive system, or yun nga, naalala ko dati when I invented the auto block. So yung mga blockers, maaalala ito na that was also my inspiration, auto block kasi is like an automaton, no? Para siyang robot, parang sila Optimus Prime or sila Asimo or parang gano'n, na yung Autoblock being like a human being then, like sila yung Transformers, di ba? So meron silang iba-ibang system, integrated different systems for them to function. So yung brain, which involves yung computer, yun yung computer, kumbaga ron sa sasakyan, computer box, So yun yung pinakang meron siyang parang processor, no? So yun yung brain, no? Yung computer. And then meron din siyang parang nervous system, meron din siyang yung neuro yun eh. And then meron din siyang yung respiratory, yun naman yung kung paano yung supply ng air, passive cooling, yung mga ganyan, how you can yung ventilation, yun yung mga system na yun. And then we also have yung muscular system, yun naman yung mga claddings, panels, yung mga tagal ko na kasi in-invent, may mga floorboards, mga tinatawag, tapos meron kami mga panel, na usually mga sandwich panel na kinaklad mo, yun yung pinaka-muscle niya. And then of course yung skeletal system, yun yung mainframe system. And then yung digestive niya, syempre meron ding para doon naman sa water supply and drainage system, parang ganun, So once again, I can relate so much kasi nga we're discussing this book about Leonardo da Vinci, and he's an innovator same as I am, So galing. So very interesting talaga to for me personally, So yun, so like human body. So these ideas were way ahead of their time. So masyadong advanced. Like when I invented the auto block, it was what? So much advanced, parang in-anticipate ko na mauulit yung SARS, and yun nga, imagine na ulit siya sa COVID, that you can conduct all human activities within the same place, na hindi mo kailangan lumabas kasi nga naka-lockdown, di ba? Ang daming quarantine. So to make it short, parang I can relate much kasi nga Da Vinci, sabi nga dito, yung ideas niya were way ahead of his time. But unfortunately, Lodovico didn't bite on the plan to revamp Milan's waterways. Yun lang, So yeah, even ako din, I had proposals before na they love it so much. But then, hindi siya nag-materialize. And I believe naman marami naman din designers who proposed lots of ideas. Pero nanatili na lang siya as plans and designs na nasa nasa papel, or in our time na nasa na lang siya, nasa hard disk na lang siya. So one of the designs that I'm referring to yung I attempted, I proposed to redesign Jollibee. Ang galing, ginawa ko siyang green. Yun yung go green na advocacy namin before, kasi nga parang hindi green kasi yung mga buildings using traditional construction. So I introduced yung block technology that is green and sustainable, parang low earth impact, low carbon dioxide emission, low energy consumption, so lower carbon footprint, So gustong-gusto to ni Tan Kak Chong. But then, yun nga, parang they're a big company already, Hindi ganun kadali baguhin na yung existing sistema, yung norm, nakasanayan na nila. So they're still using yung traditional like concrete, hollow blocks. Buti nga ngayon, medyo steel frame na. Ngayon, so 2025 or 20s na, when we started that, 2003, 2004. So we were ahead ng 20 years, no? So syempre, mostly ayaw nila maging first mover. Pag naging norm na siya, parang yun na yung nakasanayan ng karamihan, doon pa lang sila nag-adapt, So I can relate din dito, na ang ganda ng proposal ni Leonardo da Vinci pero hindi inadapt, So instead, Leonardo found his niche in the vibrant court life of the Sforza family. He had already dabbled in theater back in Florence, creating props and painting backdrops. But in Milan, he went all out. So, instead yung master planning or yung urban planning yung naging projects niya, parang mas na-appreciate dun sa vibrant court life, yung court ng Sforza family. So parang theater siguro, So gumagawa siya ng mga props, backdrops, parang ganyan. So his elaborate pageants, plays, and scientific demonstrations at the Sforza court became the talk of the town. So parang sumikat, One standout production was The Mask of the Planets. So, yun. Parang palabas siguro siya. Siguro dito sa Pilipinas nung yung mga vaudeville. Okay. The Mask of the Planets, which featured intricate mechanical props and beautifully painted scenes that left the audience spellbound. So siguro gumawa siya ng mural sa likod ng stage, and then mechanical, siguro may mga tumataas na, I don't know, the curtain bubukas mechanically, not automatically pa nung time nun siguro. Pero nakikita mo parang, wow, medyo nung time nun siguro high-tech na nung mga time na yon, So, spellbound, para yung mga audience, di ba? Parang wow, first time, bago, new, di ba? Unique. So, Leonardo's reputation soared, and he became more famous as an entertainer than as a painter during this period. Naman ba ako sa ganon? Well, ngayon, recently, to those na kilala ko, yeah, of course, I'm more, yung art ko is not more on music Although, music is also an art, So, yung art ko, I do renderings nga. Of course, siyempre, I design, I plan, I design, di ba? I invent, I innovate, So, dun talaga ako, So, dream houses, yan talaga yung mga karamihan ng mga ginawa ko. And then suddenly, at my age and stage, this past couple of years, parang nag-shift ako sa making music, di ba? And then, releasing, siguro nasa 60 plus songs na so far. Diba? Na hindi ko naman talaga ginagawa yan, although I'm a fan of music. And along with that, I launched this book. Diba? Ito yun. Diba? So naging author ako. So parang hindi naman yun yung mundo ko before, pero suddenly parang, yun nga, because, Renaissance man. So I launched this Black and Roll na book. By the way, we'll also review this soon, after nitong ng mga books na that we're going to review. Itong Black and Roll, no, plug ko lang, how I wrote and released within only a year 50 songs or 5 albums through Spotify, inspiring stories of my rock and roll lifestyle. So rock and roll. So we'll also share this, yung summary nito, and then kung ano man yung mga pwede ko i-share that relates to creators, to innovators, and to entrepreneurs. No? So you'll enjoy this if you're also an entrepreneur. Okay, so going back, no? So dun siya mas nakilala. So despite this shift in recognition, Leonardo's artistic pursuits never took a backseat. His time in Milan was a whirlwind of engineering feats, theatrical innovations, and artistic brilliance. This phase of his life highlighted his incredible versatility and his knack for pushing the boundaries of what was possible. So, yun. Tinignan niya, in-explore niya. No? Ano yung parang hindi niya lang ni-utilize yung potential niya, kundi minaximize niya. So Leonardo's Milanese years were some of the most dynamic and influential of his career, cementing his status as a true Renaissance man who refused to be confined to one discipline. Ang galing, ano? So, natutuwa ako personally, no? Kasi ngayon ko lang din nababasa itong summary na to, no? Nakaka-relate ako so much. So, why stick dun sa, well, alam naman ng lahat, di ba? Most ng mga children, nung bata tayo, di ba? Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Di ba? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. Di ba? I want to be... So, usually, isa lang. No? Sa akin, noon pa, bata pa lang, no? Parang di ko na nakita na why stick to just one? Di ba? When you can be, parang, when you can explore different fields, different disciplines, and then to create the unique you. So hindi ka lang iisa. Kaya nga architectpreneur yung eventually, and that's why I call myself I am an autodidact architectpreneur. So self-taught. So kung hindi mo man mapag-aralan sa school or sa college o matapos sa college, then self-study. Like ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, di ba? YouTube University na. You can learn a lot of things. And nandiyan mga yun ng ChatGPT, yung AI. So, sino pipigil sa'yo? So, for me personally, I finished architecture, as my course, Pero hindi ako nag-stick doon eh. Kasi even during those times that when I'm studying, hindi nga ako pumapasok I spent most of my times not inside the classroom nor inside the campus, usually outside the campus. Kasi I learned a lot more outside the campus, Kasi why limit, when alam naman natin, So siguro ibang makaka-relate, papasok ka sa school, hihintay mo yung professor mo, and then hindi pala dadating. So you just wasted many hours of your life just waiting for your professor. Or minsan, meron lang siyang kausap na, I don't know, parang assistant niya na student, favorite student or what, tapos magpapabigay ng exam na hindi mo siya nakikita. Siguro once, twice mo lang makikita sa buong semester. So, parang sa akin nun, hindi ko ma-appreciate yung studying within the confinement of the classroom or the campus, So, that's the reason why, I just needed to have parang a fundamental educational background, So, that's why I studied architecture. Pero even those times, hindi ko idol yung mga na parang most of my idols are not actually architects, Parang I can see may ibang mundo pa akong mas interested in. And most of my idols or the people that I admire, are the game changers, the revolutionaries, the men who built America. May film yun, like si John D. Rockefeller, 'di ba? Si Andrew Carnegie, yung mga yun, of course, on that film, nandun din si Henry Ford, Thomas Alva Edison, si Nikola Tesla, nandun din sila, And then nandun din sa finance naman si JP Morgan. Sila yung nag-build di lang ng Amerika eh. Kasi syempre, America is the first, parang yan yung superpower country. So, they built the world, no? Yung modern world, no? So sila yung mas pinag-aaralan ko. I have all their books. I watch films about them. And then also, in these modern times, I have what I call yung mga virtual mentors. So mga virtual mentors ko, usually hindi naman architects eh. Hindi nga rin artists eh. Siguro sa architecture, siguro napakaseldom. Kala nga nila, I admire yung ina-admire din ng dad ko, si Frank Lloyd Wright. No. College days na uso si Corbu, si Le Corbusier. So hindi rin eh. Mas appreciate ko pa nga yung works ni Tadao Ando eh, no? Napaka-simple, no? Parang ganyan, and some Miss Van der Rohe. Pero not more on them, no? Sa art naman, sa painting, siguro Pablo Picasso. Gusto ko sa Cubism. I can relate much to his art. Pero mas marami talaga akong virtual mentors dun sa sa business world, no? So, sa pag create ng empire, ng enterprise actually, no? Like I had the books of yung mga nauna pa before. Meron ako yung sila Sam Walton ng Walmart, mga ganyan. Sila yung mga of course, yung Ray Kroc ng McDonald's. Yan, kung paano binild yung IBM. And then Richard Branson, of course, yung Virgin Company. And then of course, yung mga ultimate na mga virtual mentors ko, Steve Jobs, di ba? Nauna si Steve Jobs, and then kasabay niya si Bill Gates, and then eventually pinakang naging last na nga ay si Elon Musk ng Tesla, SpaceX, and then Solar City, Boring Company, and then sa kanya na nga rin yung X, yung formerly Twitter, and a lot more, no? Yung Neuralink. So yan yung mga nag-i-inspire sa akin, So why am I sharing this? Because yun nga yung term ng pagiging renaissance man, no? So you don't confine yourself to just one discipline or one field, So why limit? Bakit doktor ka lang, o kundi nurse ka lang, or abogado ka lang, or kung ano man, no? Engineer ka lang. You can be more, no? So renaissance man kasi during the time, aside from Leonardo da Vinci, who was an inventor, yun nga, mga gumagawa mga weaponries or war machines, ganyan, And then he involved himself even dun sa human anatomy or biology. And then he paints, painter siya, sculptor, ang dami, no? And then Michelangelo was also like him, sculptor, painter, ganyan din, architect, no? Sila yung gumawa nung dun sa Basilica, di ba? And then modern times, si Buckminster Fuller, no? He was the one who invented the geodesic dome, yung Dymaxion car, no? Yung mga ganyan, And then even though he's not really parang by educational background, di naman talaga siya architect, no? Same with Frank Lloyd Wright. So Frank Lloyd Wright was an engineer, no, by education, Pero they contributed a lot dun sa field of architecture. As a matter of fact, si Buckminster Fuller nga, pag pumasok ka ron sa AIA, American Institute of Architects, ang makikita mo yung bust or yung si Buckminster Fuller, yung works niya, even though he's not really talagang architect, pero yung contribution niya, parang it was honored by the institute, kasi nga hindi sila sumunod, hindi sila naging conformist, hindi sila naging traditional, naging unconventional sila, and that's the reason why they introduced something new, something different, something revolutionary. Locally, sino bang renaissance man natin? Of course, our national hero, di ba? So, sino yun? Jose Rizal, di ba? So, he's not just a physician or a doctor, di ba? So, he's a doctor, he's a writer, novelist, di ba? So, he also designed, he parang in a way, naging parang engineer din siya, and then, a lot. No? So, parang si Tony Stark, 'di ba? Tony Stark, 'di ba? Parang billionaire, ano 'yun? Inventor, 'di ba? Ganun din. And playboy. No, Jose Rizal. Playboy. Parang ganun din. Of course, just kidding na yun sa huli. No? So, yun yung renaissance man. You're not just confined to just one discipline. No? So, sabi nga rito, a true Renaissance man who refused to be confined to one discipline. So move na tayo, no? So I'm just sharing it because I can relate so much to it, no? So that's chapter 4 of the book Leonardo da Vinci, no, yung biography or autobiography. Okay, chapter 5, Leonardo's intellectual network and the birth of Vitruvian man. Familiar ba kayo ron sa Vitruvian man? No, yung ano, ang pagkakalam ko noon, yung pinakang sentro ng human body, etong navel, itong pusod, ano. So yung distance between dun sa pusod mo hanggang dito, pataas, ano, and then yung pababa, parehas. Actually, paside, parehas. Bumukha ka kaparehas siya, parang nakabilog siyang ganun. So, let's explore, no? Basahin natin. So, in Milan, Leonardo da Vinci found himself amidst a vibrant intellectual and artistic community, which played a crucial role in shaping his career. At the Sforza court, he leveraged his social skills to build connections and create opportunities, similar to how we think of networking today. So may networking na pala nun, no? So parang he tried connecting to people, of course, to showcase syempre what he can offer, no? I believe. Always eager to learn and grow, Leonardo sought to improve his skills in areas where he felt less confident. He felt less confident. So, in-improve pa niya yung mga skills niya. Not necessarily weakness niya, ha? Strength din niya, kaso hindi pa siya ganun siguro kahinog dun sa particular skill niya na yon. So, hinone pa niya yon, parang, or in-improve pa niya yon. While he was already pretty adept at geometry, he realized his math skills needed some polishing. Parehas pala tayo eh. Actually, hindi naman sa I hate math. Nakita ko lang na hindi ako gano'ng interested sa mga math subjects, pero wag ka, no? Hindi man ako magaling sa sine cosine, ano, kasi boring sa akin 'yan, no? Nakaka-bore. Magaling ako sa math when it comes sa pera. Maski sa mind ko lang kaya ko mag-compute, mabilis ako when it comes dun sa anything na math sa finance, no? Kaya ko mabilis ang mind ko sa math pag involved na yung computation ng pera, finance, di ba? Anyway, exception yun sa math, no? So, sabi, ano din siya, parang he realized his math skills needed some polishing. So fortunately, he was close friends with Luca Pacioli. Ito na naman tayo eh. Luca Pacioli, a brilliant mathematician who helped him enhance his arithmetic. So yun pala, no, ang galing. Parang Leonardo da Vinci always worked with a mentor, di ba? Or people or with a master. Para at least in a way, he could be like a sponge na mapipigahan niya yung utak nung kung sino man yung master na yun. Like ito si Luca. Kasi kapangalan ni Luka Doncic, no? Sorry Lakers. Wala na kayo dun sa sa playoffs. Anyway, sorry LeBron. Yan. Leonardo's notebooks filled with to-do lists often included tasks like learn the multiplication of roots from Maestro Luca. So yung notebook niya meron siya mga to-do list. Dito nakaka-relate na naman ako, gasgas sa akin dito yung app ng Apple, ng iPhone, yung notes. Lagi ako may mga bulleted or yung mga yung mga to-do list. Lagi yan. For this week, for this day, to buy, parang ganyan. So ginagawa rin niya pala yan. But Leonardo's thirst for knowledge didn't stop at mathematics. He loved spending time with architects like Donato Bramante and Francesco di Giorgio, who also had strong artistic inclinations. So once again, tingnan niyo yung mapupulot natin dito, no? So he hangs out, no? So he rub elbows with the greats, like itong mga architect na si Donato Bramante at si Francesco di Giorgio, no? Na mga artist din, no? So their conversations often revolve around Vitruvius. Kilala niyo ba si Vitruvius? Siya yung Roman military engineer from the 1st century BC who wrote a famous treatise on architecture. Siya nga daw ata yung unang architect. So Vitruvius believed that buildings should follow the principles of the human body. So pattern sa human body daw dapat yung mga buildings, no? So yun yung pinakang principle niya with a central point that is equidistance from the front, back, sides. Just as the human navel, yun na nga, sinasabi ko kanina, yung pusod, is equidistance from the top of the head and to the tips of the outstretched hands and feet. Okay, so yun. So this idea fascinated Leonardo, who was becoming increasingly obsessed with the proportions of human anatomy and the analogies found in nature. Ang galing ano? So, these discussions led directly to the creation of one of his most famous drawings, the Vitruvian Man. Sa architecture, nandun yan. Ano? Actually, yung isang libro ng good friend ko who already passed away, by the way, no? Si architect George Salban. He's my friend, ano? So, he was one of the architects na very successful sa Philippines. He's also an author. He authored more than a dozen books. No? Part pa nga ako ng isang book na in-author niya noon before. He asked me to help him design the cover of his book. And then he made his own. He innovated yung Vitruvian Man ni Leonardo da Vinci. And also the modular. May ginawa rin kasi si Le Corbusier, no? Na pattern din dito, and then nagkaroon si Architect Salban ng modular. Nandun sa books niya. So if you're interested about architecture, maraming books si Architect George Salban, bumili kayo. Siguro may ebook na rin siya ngayon. Ayan. So the Vitruvian Man, which depicts a man resembling Leonardo himself. So yung dinraw ni Leonardo, parang self-portrait na rin yun eh. Itsura niya yung ginamit niya ron, ano. So, resembling Leonardo himself. Set proportionally within a circle, no? So, may pabilog yun. And a square, no? Okay? And a square. In addition to these intellectual pursuits, Leonardo's ability to connect with others played a crucial role in his success at the Sforza court. His time in Milan was marked by a blend of artistic brilliance and scientific curiosity. Pag tinignan mo yun, parang Steve Jobs din yan. Yung artistic usually right brain, and then yung scientific or yung engineering or technical left brain. No? So, nandun ka sa intersection. Si Steve Jobs, sabi niya, nandun siya ron sa liberal arts at saka ron sa engineering. So, nandun siya sa gitna. He can relate dun sa mga artists and he can relate dun sa mga technologists. Ganun din ako. So, nakarelate so much ako doon. I have my artistic side and I have my technical side. So, I'm a technologist, a technician, but at the same time, I'm an artist. I'm a designer. So, yun. So, yun, parang si Da Vinci, ganun din. Nandun din siya sa gitna ng brilliance of scientific curiosity and may blend ng artistic, solidifying his reputation as a true Renaissance man. So I can relate. Renaissance man. His interactions with other great minds of his time not only expanded his own knowledge, but also contributed to the vibrant cultural and intellectual atmosphere of the Milanese court. No? So, that ends yung summary natin for chapter. Nasaan tayong chapter? Yes, chapter 5. So, ang galing, Ang galing. Ang dami kong natututunan and I hope you're also learning a lot, Nasa chapter 5 pa lang tayo, So, mahaba pa to. Actually naman, mga hanggang chapter, 10, 12, parang gano'n lang naman to. So, stick with me. Dito sa podcast na to. Okay, so, yun yung origins pala ng Vitruvian Man, no? So the birth of the Vitruvian Man, and then yun nga, nakipag-network siya sa mga masters like mga architects, mga artists. We can learn from that. We can do the same, no? Problema lang minsan pag eccentric ka, no? Parang you'd rather be alone than socializing to lots of people. Pero you don't have to socialize to lots of people naman parang makipag-network ka. Just be effective or efficient na rin at the same time, na choose the right people that you will surround yourself with. I think yun yung magandang i-apply din doon, no? Na be more effective in choosing the right people, Choose kung sino yung mayroon ka talagang matututunan at saka may mapipiga, no? Dito sa BLOC Camp Site, we can do that, no? If you are someone like an entrepreneur or startup businessman or entrepreneur, or you're also an artist, diba? punta ka lang dito. Let's talk, di ba? So, I believe at my age and stage, sabi nga yung age na, golden age, yun na yung time na you're already a mentor, no? At the same time, an angel investor. So, marami ka nang pwedeng i-share, no, sa mga younger ones, the students, or fellow mga ano ba rin, mga kasabayan mo rin, no, changing notes. It can be a healthy community for us. So, if you want to talk about all these things, like what we're talking right now, just come here. Come here or camp here. Camp here. No? Para at least we can exchange thoughts, we can brainstorm, we can talk about common things that we're interested in or passionate about. Okay? So we'll now move to the chapter 6. Okay? Are you with me? So we're halfway through. 10 chapters kasi lahat to. Chapter 6, Mastering Emotion and Perspective. The Genius of the Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci's talent for observation was unmatched. He meticulously studied humans, nature, and animals, capturing every detail in his notebooks. Horses, in particular, fascinated him, and he spent years of working on a monumental horse statue that was never completed due to the French invasion in 1494. However, it was his profound understanding of human anatomy and emotion that significantly influenced his work, especially The Last Supper. So, yung infamous or yung famous na Last Supper. Infamous kasi, di ba, may mga controversies din doon, di ba? Nagkaroon pa nga ng, what you call that, yung Da Vinci Code, di ba? Anyway, commissioned by the Duke of Milan, Leonardo began the Last Supper in 1495 in the dining hall of the Santa Maria del Grazi Monastery. So sa Santa Maria del Grazi Monastery pala yun, dining hall. His approach to his painting was revolutionary. He aimed to capture not just a single moment, but an entire narrative. So the scene depicts the moment Jesus announces that one of his apostles will betray him. Sino yan? Judas ka. Kaya nga Judas, si Judas. And Leonardo masterfully conveys the range of emotions that ripple through the group. Each apostle reacts differently, showing shock, anger, and confusion, while Judas clutches a bag of silver, highlighting his guilt. Leonardo's innovative use of perspective draws the viewer into the painting. No? So dinodraw niya kasi di ba na 1-point perspective yon. So employed both natural and artificial perspective to create a sense of depth, no, and realism. For instance, he made the table unusually narrow and manipulated the lines of the room to focus the viewer's attention on Jesus at the center. This use of perspective was not just for artistic effect, but also demonstrated Leonardo's deep understanding of geometry and optics. Leonardo's time at the Sforza court allowed him to mingle with other great minds like mathematician Luca Pacioli and architects Donato Bramante and Francesco di Giorgio. Their discussions often revolved around Vitruvius, a Roman engineer who believed that buildings should mirror the proportions of the human body. His concept fascinated Leonardo and led to the creation of his famous Vitruvian Man, symbolizing the harmony between human proportions and the universe. Despite his various interests, Leonardo's work on the Last Supper remains one of his most significant achievements. His ability to blend scientific precision with artistic creativity made this painting a masterpiece that continues to captivate audiences. His innovative techniques and the emotional depth of his work highlight why Leonardo da Vinci is celebrated as a true Renaissance genius. So, galing, hindi ba? So, he's combining yung scientific precision kasi he studied yung human anatomy or yung human figure, di ba? Ganyan. Or yung nature. And then, kinumbine niya yung artistic creativity, no? Using nga yung mga perspective, tsaka yung optic, no? And then, yung emotional depth niya, no? Yun yung naha-highlight dito sa works ng isang Leonardo da Vinci. So, that's chapter 6. Let's move to chapter 7. Are you still with me? Let's go! Chapter 7. War and Innovation. Leonardo's Journey with Cesar Borgia. Leonardo da Vinci's journey into the world of military engineering came to a head around 1499 when he experienced the brutal realities of war firsthand. So, na-experience na mismo yung gere, no? Brutal realities, yung katotohanan sa likod ng digmaan, no? So, after Louis XII's French troops stormed Milan and dismantled the Duke's court, Leonardo had to make his way back to Florence. Here, he ended up working for Cesare Borgia o Cesare Borgia, kung paano man yun i-pronounce. A ruthless military leader allied with the French. It's likely that Niccolo Machiavelli, ulitin natin. It's likely that Niccolo Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince, helped set up Leonardo's gig with Borgia while negotiating Florence's surrender. Okay. So, involved ngayon si Leonardo dito sa sa gera, no? So, with Borgia, Leonardo toured Italy, suggesting all sorts of innovative ideas for improving military defenses. So, umikot siya sa buong Italia. And then, kung may nakikita siyang, what he could suggest, so, nagsasuggest siya, no? Yung mga ideas niya to improve military defenses. One cool idea was to curve fortress walls so they could better deflect cannonballs and minimize damage. So iniisip niya yun, yung fortress, di ba? Usually kasi may mga castles and then may mga gated walls, di ba? And then may mga fortress. So naka-curve. So kasi kung kunyari straight siya, so pag tumama yung mga cannonballs, so di ba parang tagos. Hindi tulad yon, parang medyo i-absorb muna tapos medyo hindi ganun kalakas ang impact siguro. So to make it short, inaaral niya yung mga yon, Parang he's innovating it, no? Para he could contribute yung I guess yung services niya, para i-commission, 'di ba? Para at least i-avail yung services niya and may apply yung mga ideas niya, no? Okay. So, yun yung isang idea niya. But what really wowed na-wow si Borgia were Leonardo's detailed maps. So, detalyadong mapa. So, parang Google Earth. So, take his 1502 map of Imola, for instance. Leonardo combined art and science to create a map that was not only accurate but also visually stunning. No? So, nai-imagine kayo, parang gumawa siya, tinro niya siguro yung detalye ng mapa na napakahalos realistic na, and accurate, accurate. Hindi siya yung parang, kumbaga not to scale yun. So parang almost to scale siguro yung ginawa niyang map, and it's stunning visually. This bird's eye view map was meticulously to scale, sabi ko nga kanina, showing distances between houses and towns, which helped Borgia plan quick and effective attacks sa gera, So, despite these impressive contributions, Leonardo soon got fed up with the dark side of Borgia's campaigns. So siguro, na-expose siya. Siyempre, yung campaign gera, di siyempre patayan, pumatay, or pumatay na maraming tao. So, Leonardo eventually became fed up. So, Borgia might have been charming, but he was also infamously brutal. A fact that even bothered Machiavelli, who based The Prince on him. So, yung character ng The Prince, no? Pattern dito. Okay, sa kanya. Working with such a ruthless figure made Leonardo reconsider his dreams of military engineering. So, parang napapaisip siya. What started as a passion for innovation turned into a harsh lesson about the grim realities of war. Ayun. So parang, okay. He saw his potentials in parang designing mga war machines or ganyan, pero nakita niya yung brutality ng isang gera. So parang nagsasampung isip siya. Leonardo's time with Borgia was a mix of achievement and disappointment. On one hand, he got to showcase his knack for blending art with practical engineering. On the other hand, he saw firsthand the moral dilemmas and violence that came with power. This chapter in Leonardo's life highlights the complexity of his genius. His relentless pursuit of knowledge and creativity, tempered by the unsettling truths of military conflict. His work during this time remains a testament to his incredible talent and his ongoing quest to apply his skills in ways that could rise above the harshness of his world. No? So parang ganun man yung adhikain ni Leonardo to contribute his ideas or his design solutions, his innovations, pero yun nga, nakita niya, na-witness niya yung pagiging malupit, yung harshness ng mundo. So, palagay ko, sa next chapter, baka mag-shift siya. So, let's see. So, that's chapter 7. So, let's now proceed to chapter 8. Chapter 8, Leonardo's revolutionary exploration of human anatomy. So, ayan na, naiba na. Coming from the last chapter na parang mga war machines or mga tungkol sa gera. So, this is about human anatomy. As Leonardo da Vinci prepared to leave Florence for the final time, he seized the opportunity to dive deeply into the study of human anatomy. Partnering with an anatomy professor from the University of Pavia, Leonardo gained access to around 20 fresh corpses. Ano yun? Bangkay. Di ba? Paano kaya yun? Hindi kaya nangangamoy yun? Oo. Siyempre. Ewan ko. This partnership allowed him to conduct detailed dissections, meticulously documenting every bone, muscle, no, and organ with stunning precision. So dinadissect niya, no? So parang ino-opera, no? And then yun nga, talagang with stunning precision, accurate. So Leonardo's fascination with anatomy wasn't just about improving his artistic skills. He was driven by a profound desire to understand the inner workings of the human body. His notebooks from this period are filled with intricate drawings and over 13,000 words of text. So dami niya sinulat. No, tsaka puro drawing. Yung mga sketchpad niya siguro. O yung notebook niya. Exploring the complexities of the eyes, the brain, the heart, and even the human fetus. Paano kaya yun? Meron siguro namatay. May bangkay doon ng mga anak na. And kataon may fetus. Siguro. His studies went beyond surface observations, delving into the mechanics and functions of these organs in ways that were centuries ahead of their time. Imagine, grabe, yung innovations ko nga minsan a decade or two ahead of its time. Si Steve Jobs ganun din, yung nung nagawa nila yung alam niyo ba yan? Na i-protect na nila, na i-patent na nila yung iPod 30 years in advance bago yun ni-launch. Ganun ka-ahead of time ang mga innovators, ang mga visionaries. Pero Da Vinci, wow! Century! So hindi lang decades ahead. Grabe ha. This is so fascinating. Nakakatuwa talaga to. Centuries ahead of their time. One of his most groundbreaking discoveries was his study of the heart. While the common belief of that time placed the liver, yung atay, at the center of the circulatory system, Leonardo recognized the heart's true importance. He conducted innovative experiments such as filling a bull's heart with wax to create a mold. Bull, no? Chicago Bulls, which he then used to observe the flow of blood in a glass replica. Parang nag-create siya ng mold, ano, para ipakita kung paano yan nag-flow yung blood dun sa mga veins, siguro going to the heart. So nakita siguro yung mga arteries, mga kung ano-ano. So this experiment allowed him to understand the operation of the aortic valve. Tama ba yan? Aortic. A discovery that modern science wouldn't fully grasp until 450 years later. So centuries, 4.5 centuries later, ganun ka-advance. Grabe, man. Leonardo didn't limit his anatomical studies to humans alone. He often compared human anatomy with that of various animals, seeking to understand the similarities and differences, yung pinagkakatulad at pinagkakaiba. This comparative approach enriched his knowledge and provided a broader perspective on biology and the interconnectedness of life. Despite the revolutionary nature of his work, Leonardo's anatomical studies remained largely unpublished and unknown for many years. So naisulat niya, na-document niya, pero hindi siya na-publish. It wasn't until much later that the full extent of his contributions was recognized, revealing just how far ahead of his time he truly was. Masyadong advanced, ano? His meticulous drawings and detailed notes laid the foundation for future anatomical studies, blending art and science in a way that was truly visionary. Galing. Visionary. I can relate. I am a visionary too. Leonardo's deep dive into human anatomy is a testament to his relentless curiosity and his unique ability to combine artistic talent with scientific inquiry. So his work in this field remains a shining example of his genius and his enduring impact on both art and science. Galing ah. So fascinating. Kaya palang architecture is a combination of art and science, no? Once again, going back kanina, no? Left brain, right brain, no? Art and science. Kaya nga Bachelor of Arts in Architecture. Okay. So yan. Galing. So that's chapter 8. Are you still with me? Okay. So tuloy lang tayo, ha? So let's move to chapter 9. Second to the last, chapter 9. Leonardo's final masterpieces under King Francis I's patronage. In 1517, Cardinal Luigi of Aragon visited Leonardo, and his secretary, Antonio de Beatis, documented the meeting. During this visit, Leonardo confessed that a recent stroke had rendered his right hand almost useless. So nagkaroon pala siya ng stroke. Grabe. Siguro mild stroke. Na yung right hand niya almost useless, leading him to believe that his days as a prolific artist were behind him. Hey, so despite this setback, Leonardo proudly showed his guests 3 paintings he was working on, each destined to become a masterpiece. So, nakagawa pa rin siya ng mga masterpiece niya, no? Despite na na-stroke siya at saka hindi na niya gaano magamit yung kamay niya. Ang galing, ano? Okay, the first painting, o yung masterpiece niya, the first masterpiece painting was Saint John the Baptist, featuring a seductive androgynous figure emerging from the shadows with a raised hand pointing cryptically towards the heavens. This work highlighted Leonardo's mastery of light and shadow, as well as his ability to infuse his subjects with a sense of mystery and depth. So yun yung first painting niya, Saint John the Baptist. The second painting was Virgin and Child with Saint Anne. So familiar ba kayo rin sa mga painting ni Leonardo da Vinci? Ako nakikita ko yun sa encyclopedia nga before. A composition that showcases Leonardo's skill in portraying the gentle interaction between the figures. The intricate expressions and the seamless blend of the figures into the landscape exemplify Leonardo's talent in capturing the subtleties of human emotion and connection. Galing, ano? Parang Leonardo can put that into painting. Imagine yung subtleties of human emotion and connection. That's genius. The third painting, which Leonardo had been carrying around for years, was none other than the, guess what? What? Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. This iconic work, known for its enigmatic smile and exquisite detail, epitomized Leonardo's artistic genius. Diba nga? I just mentioned genius. The Mona Lisa would go on to become one of the most famous and celebrated paintings in the world. No? In the world. In history. In the world. A testament to Leonardo's enduring legacy. Diba? Kailan ba yun? When was that? Parang someone informed me na parang for the longest time, kala natin yung painting na Mona Lisa malaki. Kung pala maliit lang pala siya when you go to the Louvre kung saan siya sa museum, no? Maliit lang pala yung painting na yun. Okay. So the Mona Lisa would go on to become one of the most famous and celebrated paintings in the world. A testament to Leonardo's enduring legacy. So King Francis I's patronage allowed Leonardo to devote his final years to these significant works, providing him with the stability and resources to refine his art even in the face of physical limitations. So, dahil meron siyang patron, si King Francis I, no? So, parang it allowed Leonardo na yung mga final years niya, magawa pa rin niya yung mga significant works niya despite of, no, yung kinakaharap niya na physical limitations. Yun na nga, na-stroke siya yung kanang kamay niya. So, paano yung kaliwa or talagang medyo... Are you watching Incognito sa Netflix? Parang sino yun? Diba? Si Richard Gutierrez doon. Anyway, meron siyang ganong limitation, ano? So, parang nagkrakramp or biglang humihinto yung kamay niya. Anyway. So, Leonardo's time in France under King Francis's care was a period of reflection, artistic achievement, and scientific exploration, marking the culmination of his incredible career. So these final masterpieces, created during his last years, encapsulate the essence of Leonardo's genius, blending his profound understanding of human anatomy, his innovative techniques, and his unparalleled artistic vision. King Francis I's support provided Leonardo with the peace and security he needed to focus on his work, even as his physical abilities waned. Blessed pa rin. Diba? Napakaswerte mo, napaka-blessed mo na meron naniniwala sa'yo, merong nagpapatronize ng works mo. So meron kang patron, diba? Who believes in you, keeps on commissioning you, diba? Availing your services, even though, yun nga, meron ka ng physical limitations. So, ganun yung nangyari kay Leonardo da Vinci. No? So, that's second to the last chapter. Now, we're going to the last and final chapter. So, tara! Chapter 10. Unraveling the Secrets of the Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci's relentless curiosity drove him to explore and understand the mysteries of the world. This drive wasn't about seeking fame or glory. It was about a genuine passion for knowledge. His paintings were an extension of this quest, capturing motion and emotion in a way that brought his subjects to life. Every gesture in his work aimed to reveal the inner thoughts and feelings of the people he painted, making him one of the history's most remarkable artists. The Mona Lisa is often considered Leonardo's ultimate masterpiece, embodying his interests far beyond painting and highlighting his belief that some human mysteries are insoluble. This portrait is renowned for the subject's enigmatic smile, which seems to change depending on where you focus. Di ba napansin niyo yung Mona Lisa smile? So, pag tinignan mo siya sa eyes niya, parang iba yung dating ng smile. Pero pag nakatingin ka, parang ganun yun eh. Tuloy natin. This portrait is renowned for the subject's enigmatic smile, which seems to change depending on where you focus nga daw. When you look at her eyes, ito na yung sinasabi ko, the smile appears more pronounced. But when you focus directly on her mouth, it seems to fade. This effect showcases Leonardo's deep understanding of optics and perception, creating a lifelike and dynamic image that continues to captivate viewers. Leonardo used his studies of light and reflection to enhance the painting. No? So, yung light, very important dyan. Even sa architecture, nasa ng morning sun, afternoon sun, hearts, ganyan, natural lighting, so very important talaga yung light, kung paano yung tama. Parang right now, may light coming there, in front of me may light, kaya look at my eyeglass. Pag binaba ko, may makikita kayong light, ayun, diba? So may mga lights, may lights sa likod, may lights, may blue lights. So important yung light, and of course the reflection, to enhance the painting para mas maging realistic siya. By applying a lead white undercoat, he created a luminous effect through thin layers of translucent glaze, particularly noticeable around the cheeks. So parang mas nagiging 3D effect, 3-dimensional, which seemed to shimmer with life. This technique was revolutionary as it contrasted with the traditional methods of his time, which aimed to keep every part of the canvas in equal focus. So, galing. So, ito yung mga time na talagang, authentic pa ang mga art. Ano ibig sabihin? Although hindi na authentic ngayon, masyado ng advanced ngayon. And I'm pertaining to AI, di ba? So, anyone now can be an artist. Pero it's not actually yung old way of being an artist, kasi it's now more not on the right brain or right side, kasi yung art is now more on the left, which is engineering. Kaya nga prompt engineering, right? Or prompt architecture. So nagbago na sa panahon natin ngayon. The background of the Mona Lisa is equally innovative. The flowing river in the background seamlessly merges with the sitter's silk scarf and hair, symbolizing the connection between humanity and nature. Galing, Napaka-innovative din ng background. Parang nag-blend, yung river seamlessly dun sa scarf, yung silk scarf, at saka dun sa hair ni Mona Lisa, symbolizing the connection between humanity and nature. So Leonardo's meticulous study of nature and its patterns is evident in this harmonious blend encapsulating his lifelong research into the relationship between humans and the natural world. Leonardo kept the Mona Lisa with him throughout his life, refining it continually. So, nire-refine. Dala niya lang lagi yon throughout his life. He passed away on April 23. Birthday ni Architect George Salban. 1519. 8 days after his 67th birthday. Teka. 67th? Ba't yung mga images ni Leonardo da Vinci parang almost 100 years old na siya? Parang puti na lahat yung mga buhok niya, tas kulubot na yung mukha. 67 lang pala siya? Talaga? Mas senior pa yung mom ko, na mukha pa rin batang-bata ngayon. Di ba, mami? Di ba? 70 na this year. Grabe So, again, he passed away on April 23, 1519, 8 days after his 67th birthday, leaving behind a legacy encapsulated in this timeless masterpiece. The Mona Lisa remains a testament to Leonardo's genius, his relentless pursuit of knowledge, and his extraordinary ability to blend art with science. Galing. Genius talaga. Idol. Lodi. So, that's it. Yun na yung 10 chapters ng book, ng summary ng book. And now we're proceeding sa conclusion. So, thank you. At umabot kayo. If you're still watching this podcast and umabot kayo rito sa end part na to, end game, no? Thank you so much. And if you like, no, kung nagustuhan nyo to, if you like me to keep on reviewing books for entrepreneurs, no, maraming books dyan, marami akong books. We can review many books, and then I can, in a way, have reactions or, in a way, put some remarks coming from the lens of an entrepreneur, of an innovator, of a visionary, and so that you can relate. So let's go. Conclusion. Leonardo da Vinci is often celebrated for how his revolutionary painting techniques pushed the medium forward, ushering in the High Renaissance. But he was far more than just a painter. If Leonardo's notebooks had been published in the 16th century, they might have significantly altered the course of history. Hindi kasi natuklasan agad di ba? So sana nabago yung history kung na-discover agad yung mga notebooks ni Leonardo da Vinci. His groundbreaking studies in anatomy, architecture, engineering, and fluid dynamics were well ahead of his time. Diba? Kanina nga, 4.5 century ahead. Few people truly embody the term genius, but Leonardo is undeniably one of them. Unlike the towering intellects of Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking, Leonardo's intrigue lies in his extraordinary curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge, all while being an ordinary person. Isaacson's biography vividly captures this multifaceted genius, showcasing how Leonardo's curiosity drove him to explore and innovate across various fields. From his detailed anatomical studies that predated modern medical knowledge by centuries, to his engineering feats and visionary art, Leonardo's work seamlessly integrated science and creativity. His life was a testament to the power of observation and imagination. So yun yun napansin ko nga din din, magaling siya mag-observe ng nature, ng human body, ng anatomy, particularly, no? And then, ng design, and then ng proportion, yun galing And then yung imagination, observation plus imagination. One of the most striking aspects of Leonardo's story is how his experiences and the people he encountered influence his work. Yun yung mga masters na nakasilimuhan niya. Diba? Marami kang matututunan talaga sa ibang tao. Kaya yun nga, that's the reason why we're also doing this. If you're someone who wants to also talk about innovations, inventions, entrepreneurship, book here at the BLOC Camp Site, kwentuhan tayo. No? I believe at my age and stage, now at my golden age, I can also share a lot of things about entrepreneurship, meaning business, about leadership, about management, about lots of innovations, even artificial intelligence. Ano, marami akong pwedeng i-share. Building a business for startups, especially that, naman siguro, or to those na di pa nakakaalam, no? Naging sweet startup success ang tea house natin sa the final pitch ng CNN Philippines. So of course, I learned a lot from that experience. Nag-invest nga ang naging investor na nag-pick was Victor Consunhi ng PCDI and of DMCI. And also, last year lang yon, was chosen as the Entrepreneur of the Year, one of the entrepreneurs sa Go Negosyo na naka-inspire ng mga enterprises, particularly in tourism. So, yon, no? So, rub elbows or interact with or learn from the masters. And I'm willing, I'm very generous naman when it comes to sharing. I'm willing to share. So, yon, sabi nga, no? One of the most striking aspects of Leonardo's story is how his experiences and the people he encountered influenced his work. So, his time in Florence, Milan, and under the patronage of King Francis I of France provided him with unique opportunities to expand his knowledge and push creative boundaries. Whether it was through designing fortresses, mapping cities, or creating masterpieces like the Mona Lisa, Leonardo always found ways to apply his relentless curiosity. So, what can we learn from Leonardo? His life encourages us to be endlessly curious and to explore the wide world, around us with a keen eye and an open mind. Why not take a page from his book? Itong book na ni-review natin, no? Na-summarize and then nire-review natin. It's not review, nagre-react tayo actually. Nagbibigay tayong remarks and nagre-relate din, no? So, sabi rito, grab a sketchbook and some pencils and head out to observe and sketch the world around you. Just like Leonardo. Kuha ka ng sketchpad mo. The same way that I'm doing, Kuha ka ng notebook mo. Observe. And then, after observation comes imagination. Sabi nga dito. Diba? So you don't need colored pencils or advanced tools. Just your curiosity and a willingness to look closely at the details. Embrace the spirit of Leonardo and let your creativity flow. Ang galing. So, yun na yan. So, I hope na nagustuhan niyo itong Leonardo da Vinci. If you like me to keep on sharing my books, yung mga tulad itong book ko na ito, yung Leonardo da Vinci, the Biography, there are many books pa that meron pa akong mastery, meron pa akong, ang dami. I almost have all the books about Steve Jobs. Meron din yung mga bagong books ngayon na talagang bestseller like Atomic Habits, mga ganyan, we can feature it here at this podcast here at the BLOC Studio of the BLOC Camp Site. And just message me and or in a way, paano ba yun, di ba? Usually, just how others are inviting others, di ba? Like, subscribe, di ba? Share, di ba? Itong podcast na to para we keep on reviewing books para at least in a way you can also see it particularly coming from an entrepreneur's perspective, coming from an innovator, a visionary just like me. And to those of you who are into entrepreneurship also, into business, this is something that I firmly believe that adds value to you. So that's it. Thank you so much. And everything that we're doing here at BLOC is always for the greater glory of God. So it's always for God's victory. To God be the victory. Everybody, sabi nga ron, let's get ready to block and roll! Bye-bye.
Block Radio.
So that's it. Grabe nakagawa tayo ng isang podcast tungkol sa book and something na gustong-gusto ko yun talaga gawin. To review a book, to make remarks, reaction, and to relate dun sa book na yun. So finally, natapos. Galing. So yun, marami pa akong mga iba pang book, so I'm excited. Kung nagustuhan niyo yung unang book na ni-review natin, no? Supportahan niyo sana ito. And syempre, this is another way of reinventing myself, no, through podcast. And then syempre, sayang naman 'tong studio na to, Black Studio, di ba? So we have Black Radio here. And this studio is located at the BLOC Camp Site. So onting tumbling lang, nandito na ako. So sana supportahan niyo to. And this is once again a new me, no? Hosting. Watch out dun sa sa isang podcast na I'll also share or introduce to you. The concept is something like this. It's PHILIPP by Inno. So imagine si Philip at si Inno. naisip ko, or si Philip o si Inno. So Philip is interviewing Inno. So the other side of me, the left side of me, the left brain of me, the right brain of me, or anyway, kung ano man yan. So watch out for that, So anyway, ito na yung exciting part talaga. I'm so excited talaga, na once again, I'm doing something that is new, something different, something that keeps me feeling alive, no? And that's reinventing myself. So once again, black and roll. To God be the victory.